Hello everybody and welcome to another long overdue update for Big City Knitting. I'm Dawn and let's get started. Hello! Again, as usual, it's been a while since my last update. I promise I'm not trying to make it a habit of going so far in between my updates. I know that, I know I said in my last video, or maybe the one before that, of my 2025 goals is to have more regular updates. So I promise I didn't do this on purpose. I have been in between projects for a while, longer than usual, but I'm gonna get into that later. I wanted to take some time today to finally sit down with you and give a little update on my latest finished object and my current work in progress. So without further ado, I guess I will start with what I'm currently wearing. So my latest finished object, maybe you did watch my last video, maybe you didn't or don't remember, my most recent finished object is the Paul cardigan by Marika Knit, which is what I'm wearing right now. What can I say about this pattern? It's perfect. It's amazing. It's very well written. I want to say maybe this was the first pattern by Marika Knit that I have made. And before I start talking about my own personal project, I just want to talk about the pattern. If you've never made or knit anything by Marika Knit, I highly recommend it, just going off of this pattern alone. I think it's great for beginners, or even intermediate knitters. Every single step, I mean, as you can see, it's a very simple stockinette, saddle shoulder, double knit. It's a very simple cardigan. But with every step in the pattern, the designer has like a link on how to do every step, like a video instruction. And I just think that was so helpful in like some of the more complicated sections. For instance, like the double knitted button band, I had never done that before. So it was just so helpful to have like a visual step-by-step on that, because I know some people prefer, written out step-by-step. Some people prefer a video step-by-step. So I think it's a very thoughtful thing to include as a designer. So kudos to Marika Knit. But yeah, I just wanted to share that and get it out of the way. As a whole, I think the pattern is incredibly simple to understand, and very easy to follow. So I think it's great. So yeah, moving on to my cardigan. So obviously you can only see like my chest and up and my arms of the pattern, but of course I can put in some photos right here to give you a more like full look of it. I'm so happy at how this turned out. I had a vision in my mind of how I wanted this cardigan, and it's perfect. The sleeve length is absolutely perfect. The body, I know you can't see it here, but in the pictures you can tell, I mean, it is just the perfect length of how I wanted this sweater to fall, on like my hips or around my waist, like the perfect length for me. I think I've had some pretty good luck on like project lengths lately. I've been on a good streak so far, and I mean, obviously just follow the measurements, Dawn. I mean, but you know what I mean. But yeah, it's beautiful. I know in the project like example image right here, this picture, I mean, this is what made me like really fall in love with it. And I think I got pretty close. The color match, at least, I think is pretty spot on, if you can see. I will say, this is the yarn that I used. It is the Barocco Lanna's Light in 100% wool. In the colorway, let me find it for you, 78101. So as you can see, it's just this very simple gray, like a nice light, pale, almost cool gray. And I just think it's absolutely perfect. It's very comfortable and very lightweight. Like as you can see, the wool, like the yarn itself, is a very thin gauge. I think I used like a 3.5 to 4 millimeter needle with this. So it's very lightweight, very drapey, very like flowy, not flowy, but like has a nice drape to it. It is comfortable on the skin. It's not super scratchy, but it does like, I mean, it's wool. So I've worked with worse wool. I think this is good. So yeah, it's got like a little bit of fuzz to it. You probably can't really tell, but it has a very slight halo to the fabric once it's knit up, but not so much as like a mohair halo or anything like that. So, but I think it's really good. I think I knit the size medium, I want to say. I can, of course, put any like corrections or anything in like the captions or description or anything below. I want to say I knit the size medium. Whenever I got the yarn, I believe I got 5 balls of this, and this is how much I have left out of the 5 balls of yarn that I bought. And I mean, this sweater, I mean, it's not cropped. I mean, it's a pretty good full length. Like obviously I didn't have to cut any corners to save on yarn at all, which is fantastic. Looking at the yarn, I've thought about making another blouse number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, or I've also thought about a June top by Petite Knit. I think I could absolutely get away with what I have, and the yarn is pretty easily obtainable because I bought it at a local yarn store. So yeah, the reason it took me so long to finish it, I don't know if I already said this, but with the gauge of the yarn being so thin, it took a while to get like any length. Like, yes, it was just stockinette, but working stockinette flat is my worst enemy. And I know that's the case for a lot of creators out there. A lot of knitters or fiber artists, you know, working stockinette flat is, I hate it. It's my least favorite thing in knitting. It's just not my favorite. But I got there. I think, yeah, definitely the longest part was the body. The sleeves worked up so quick because it's in the round. Even the button band worked up fairly quickly because it's all double knit, and double knitting is kind of basically in the round if you think about it. If you know anything about double knitting. I just think it turned out, it's so clean. I expected the double knitted band to be like kind of messy, but like even on the inside, like it's very, very clean and very flat, like very chic, very like seamless almost. Like if you don't know what to look for, I mean, obviously you can see the same, like it's not hard to look for, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I did a phenomenal job on the button band, if I do say so myself. Not to toot my own horn, but for my first time making a double knitted button band, I think I did a good job. So yeah. What else to say about this project? Honestly, like I don't have a whole lot more to say about that. I am in love with the way that this turned out, and I'm very proud of the way that this turned out. I know in my previous videos, my like knitting plans video, I think I was talking about wanting like something like very like simple, very like customizable, like good for layering, stuff for the office, like for work, in my knitted wardrobe this year. And this has been like the perfect cardigan that I could have made. I've gotten so much wear out of this since I made it. I've worn it probably at least once a week to work. So yeah, highly recommend if you have an office job, or even if you don't have an office job. I mean, you could literally wear this everywhere, like dress it up, dress it down, like very casual. I'm wearing like linen pants right now. It's so comfortable, and like it's not hot, it's very like comfortable. Yeah, I highly recommend it. I think the saddle shoulder is very like, it's just so nice, like such a nice, clean, chic, like simple, easy breezy cardigan that you could just do whatever you want with. Like, I don't know, I just love it. So yeah, the reason why it's been so long in between my videos and my updates is because I didn't have anything on the needles between this cardigan and my current work in progress. I finished this cardigan around the end of February, and I had ordered yarn the same like week or weekend that I had finished it. And I was like, you know, I'll just take maybe like a week break, like a week-long break in between my projects, because according to like the shipping that I selected, it was gonna be delivered within the next week. It was 3 weeks that I was waiting on the yarn to be delivered. So I was kind of forced into taking a knitting break, which was horrible and gruesome, and it was terrible, and I don't want to do that again. But within that 3-week break that I was forced to take, I did get a lot of wedding planning done. So I guess it's kind of a blessing in disguise if you think about it. But I don't want to do that again. So yeah, wasn't a huge fan of that. But I am glad that I finally do have another project on the needles. And that project is I'm making another Cumulus blouse by Petite Knit. If you don't remember, I think around this time last year, it was either like February or March of last year, I made the Cumulus blouse in the red mohair held together. I still wear that all the time because it's such an easy, like cute, modern, like very like statement red piece. And I just wear it all the time. Lola, sorry, she is, yeah, girl. So I'm making another one, and this one was very much inspired by this sweater here that I found on my vacation in Germany last fall. I really, really, really wanted to get this one while I was over there, but I couldn't really justify the price, and we were only traveling with carry-ons, and I didn't want to add another sweater to my carry-on and sacrifice more space in that. So I ended up not purchasing it. Another reason was I feel like I would be cheating myself, because like looking at it, that this is a very simple, like I can very easily find a knitting pattern that could be a replica for this, and I would be kicking myself if I bought it instead of just making it for a fraction of the price. So that is what I'm doing. If I remember correctly, I want to say it was around 90 euros, which again is just kind of ridiculous for something like store-bought. Like if I'm buying this from like a small designer, or like I'm commissioning somebody to make this for me, like that's understandable, like that's reasonable. But store-bought, like I couldn't really justify it. So instead I am reusing the Cumulus blouse pattern, and I ordered from Drops Yarn, and I am making it with the this is my current ball of yarn, but this is the Alpaca Boucle in the shade Off-White, and it is just perfect. So if you can get like a close-up kind of view on the yarn, I've never worked with this yarn before, and I've kind of been intimidated by it. And if you can see, if you've never worked with boucle before, I mean, look at that. Doesn't that like scare? Doesn't that look like it would be a nightmare to work with all of these loops and texture in the yarn? One time in the past, I tried knitting a, I don't even remember what I was trying to make, but I was using a very like chunky textured yarn, and it was a nightmare, and I couldn't do it, and I frogged it very quickly. So I was worried I was gonna have a repeat with this, but surprisingly, it hasn't been giving me too much trouble. The only trouble it's been giving me is if I like drop a stitch. It's a little difficult to see, but all in all, it's been, you know, not that bad, and I've been making some good progress. I want to say I ordered 7 balls, and this is number 3. I think this is the 3rd ball of yarn that I've used. I started this project about a week and a half ago, and I wanted to get an update last week, but I thought, you know, like I wanted to have like a good, clear, like progress update, so you could clearly see like where I'm at, instead of just me holding up like crazy like different pieces and different, you know, cords and holder, you know. I wanted it to look presentable whenever I give you the update, but here she is. She's a little bit wrinkly because she's been in my bag all day. But look at this. Is this not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? I mean, just the texture of this fabric, like you can just see how plush and soft this is because of the alpaca, and how textured it is because of the boucle. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, are you serious? It's just, it's stunning. I know it doesn't really look like it because it's on the needles right now, but I've got probably another inch to 2 inches before I'm okay with binding off, because I'm expecting this to grow just a bit during blocking. But yeah, I was thinking of setting myself a goal to finish it by the end of this weekend, which it's currently Sunday afternoon. Finish the body, I should clarify. Sunday afternoon, I would like to have it finished by tonight, and bind off for the body. I think realistically I can do it. So I've got probably another 1.5 inches, which shouldn't take me too long. And then the sleeves will just fly right off. So I'm thinking I might be able to finish it by next weekend, which would be so fun. I really, really am loving the like off-white cream of this, because next to like a pure white, it looks so good. Like this with like a white turtleneck or a white like button-up collar, like that is so good. And you could like layer so many different colors or patterns with this. Like a plaid would be phenomenal. I have like a dark green turtleneck. I have like a taupe mauve button up and a green button up. And it would be so perfect with this. And I'm so excited. So yeah, it's been going really well. One thing I'm a little bit nervous about is running out of yarn, and I think I'll be okay, because I've got 4 balls of yarn left, and this took up 3. I think I'll be okay. I think I'm only worried about running out of yarn because it took so long for this yarn to be delivered. I'm worried that I'm gonna have to be forced to take another knitting break, and I really don't want to, but it is what it is. I think I'll be okay on yarn though. I also would like to point out if you're familiar with the Cumulus blouse, or if you're not, it is a raglan shaping. With this texture, I feel like you can barely see the raglan increases unless you're like knowing like what to look for. And it's this right here. Obviously, whenever I point it out, it's a lot more noticeable, but like you can barely see that. So I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. I've been super into the like neutral color palettes, like tan, gray, beige, cream. Like I don't know why it's speaking to me so much, but something about it just feels very like crisp, clean, like a little chic, like very customizable, like safe. I've just been really enjoying that lately, so yeah. But yeah, I wanted to give you a little update. I'm almost done with it, like I said, so I'm hoping that my next update will be not far away, but who knows. My goal for this, I don't know, like I said, I want to have it done by next weekend, so I want to give myself a week. I'm not sure. I think it'll be okay if I don't get it done. My original goal was to have this done by the end of March, which is tomorrow. That's not gonna happen. Because I wanted to have like one project a month, like start first, end on like the last day of the month. Like I wanted to keep it within that time frame, but clearly that's not going to happen with this project. I am thinking, however, I might be able to complete 2 projects in April, including this one, because my next project is this kind of sleeveless tank blouse kind of thing right here, and I'll include like the designer name and pattern name and designer right here below the picture, because I can't think of it right now. This is my next goal, my next project, and I'm very excited. I am planning going to Florida the end of July, and I want like some like fun like summery blouse kind of thing, and I think this is very cute. This with like denim pants, or like maybe like if I could find the right skirt to go with this, I think it could be very nice. I think it could be really good. I think the lace detailing is very interesting. I've not done lace before, so I think it would be a fun like little learning experience. And I also think that it could be a very quick knit with it being sleeveless. Therefore, like I probably could get this done by the end of April, as well as my Cumulus blouse, which would kind of make up for the fact that I started so late in March with the Cumulus blouse. So yeah, I think I could redeem myself with that, which I know like I'm only making these things for me, and like I don't really have a deadline. But like for me in my mind, like I want to give myself something to strive for, or else like I'm never gonna finish anything. So yeah, that is my next goal. I already have a little bit of yarn. Whenever I made my Amandier cardigan, I have some Drops Flora left over in the shade light beige, and I can't remember if I have one skein. I can't remember how much I have left over of that, but I'm planning on making this project with that. So I have enough to get started, and then I'll just have to order some more, or I could go to my local yarn store and see what they have. But I think if I go with the Drops Flora, I might be able to clear out some of my stash, depending on how much I have left over, which if it's just one ball, then, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's my plan with that. I'm thinking with this, since I have 4 balls left over, there's a very good chance that I could have 1.5 to 2 balls of the boucle left over. I might make probably a hat out of that, I think. I think that would be good, just to clear it out for my stash, because I can't really imagine making anything else with this texture that would really like stand out. I don't think that this is really a good yarn for like a textured pattern with like cables or braids, or like honestly even ribbing, just because like it might get so lost in the texture of the yarn that I don't really know like if I get like if I make another like full top with this, like it's gonna be pretty much the same pattern. So probably end up making a hat, or maybe a scarf, but more than likely probably just a hat. So but yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, I don't think I have much of any other updates to give? I did get a new little project bag, or a toolkit bag. I know in my last video I did like a little what's in my bag thing, and I had a little like purple and yellow Ipsy bag that I've been using. Since then I did get a new bag, and it's this one right here, the Very Hungry Caterpillar. I think it's adorable. Here's the back. I got this at a local bookstore. It's just like a canvas like zipper bag. Very like sturdy because, you know, canvas. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's fabulous and I love it. So yeah, little update on that. And I think that's it. I think that's all of the updates that I have for you. So yeah, again, hopefully I will finish this very soon and get started on my next project very soon with the yarn that I have left, or the yarn that I find at my local yarn store. I'm very excited to share that with you. So yeah, I promise the next update will not be a month from now. I'll do my best. So yeah. Thank you so much for taking a little bit of time and sitting down with me for another update. Again, I know it was so long overdue, but I wanted to wait to give you guys a good, solid, substantial update on my projects, and hopefully it was worth the wait. I'm excited to see you guys in the next video. Yeah. As always, stay happy, stay safe, and happy knitting. Bye guys.